So I'm Kent Wamsley, and we are here at the Little Creek Farm grazing demonstration site here. And today I'm here with our rancher, Ryan Cox. And Ryan, you know, we're looking here in the backdrop. We have some of your cows out here on site. A little bit about your operation. You know, what kind of fueled this passion in raising cattle and ranching?
Well, I started probably when I was around 12 years old. Started my herd. Just family's done it their whole life. I've been raised that way and just kind of found a passion for it, a love for it. So I've been doing it ever since that time, something that I enjoy, and so been doing it for a while.
About how many head are you running right now, Ryan?
I'm running right at 80 head at the moment. I have about 45 spring and then 25 fall cows right now. So running spring and fall, two different herds. So.
Yeah, and I know your family, they own and operate on some land that's adjacent to Dunn Ranch and Little Creek Farm here, so it's great that we're working with someone that's within the community. And not only, you know, did you grow up in and around this, but I don't know if you've got a couple of youngsters I know now, and is there any interest in them in continuing this raising of cattle?
Well, that's funny that you asked that. You know, my son keeps asking, you know, Daddy, when can I get a cow? And I say, well, you know what, whenever you want to come out and help a little bit and put some effort into it, then I'll be more than happy to let you do that. But to me, it's kind of something you have to work for, something you have to earn. So we're kind of at that point at the moment. But yeah, it would be nice to pass it on. It seems like, you know, generations are losing that. You know, the younger people are not staying on the farms. Just, you know, it's not because they don't want to. It's just because that it's hard. You know, with the times that we're in now. So, you know, if I could pass it on to my kids and keep that going, that would be something that I would want. But you know, we'll just have to wait and see. So.
Absolutely. You know, it's no different than what we're looking at here on this particular site. You know, it's a cool season grass dominated pasture set up. You know, we have cows that have, you know, current access to some of the stream areas, some of the pond areas, and we're going to be going in and, you know, looking at diversifying some of that forage structure, you know, doing some exclusion fencing out here on site as part of this work. And obviously, you know, a large part of this funding source through the Conservation Innovation Grant here on this site has allowed us to build the corral and do some of the alternate water sourcing as well as the paddock divisions out here. So we'll be taking some weights and measurements on that. And just like Ryan said, it's a tough economic state that we're in for the ranching and agricultural community in general. And one of the things that we're hoping to do is that we can show how that can be balanced and managed in a way that not only is beneficial for someone like Ryan today in his own shoes, but in thoughts and planning down the road, and something that his children can take over as well. You know, as we look at this sustainable means of agriculture, it's working today, but employing, you know, the technology and advancements that are there to take it into the future. And it's the same way on a cattle operation.
You know, I'm always believed, you know, we're lucky to have you know, this land, and you know, to be in a situation where we can do stuff that we love and enjoy. But I've always been a believer in, you know, not abusing, you know, what we have. But at the same point, you need to be financially, you know, at the end of the day, you know, be able to make money. Times are tough, and if we can give back to the environment and, you know, give back to the land and you know, change the way, you know, we kind of see our operations going, you know, in a way that, you know, gives back, plus that we can prove that, you know, it is profitable. It's a unique situation to be in, and it's pretty exciting to be a part of that.
Have you guys utilized as a family or yourself some of the NRCS programs and things like that that are eligible to you?
Well, I've not been in a position to actually utilize those to the full extent, I guess, just because, you know, times are tough. I don't own my own ground. I rely on other people's ground and to run my cattle on. So I've I've proposed to people, this is something we should try, and it's just never worked out. So to finally be able to partner with somebody that has a vision that I have, and then can see the resources that are available to ranchers, that is a no-brainer in my mind. Why would you not do this? It's been great working with the Nature Conservancy, because you said they come from a conservation standpoint, but they haven't put all those eggs in one basket. They come to me, and everything they do, they ask, does this make sense to you? Is this going to work? Is this going to work for you? And when you have a partnership like that, where both people are open-minded to one another, and you can work together to come up with what you're trying to achieve, it kind of makes things go rather smoothly.
Yep.
So,
and we've been adaptive. We've had to been adaptive on things. We put plans in place with how we're going to do particular things. And you're calling me, you're saying, hey Ken, I think I'm going to move into the south pasture, and move them out of the north, or back and forth as we need to. This last fall we had the ability, based upon the weather that we had great growth, had plenty of vegetation here, and was able to extend the lease period for Ryan so he could have his cows out here a little bit longer. If he didn't have them out here longer at that time, you're going to be feeding hay to them, where you're going to be taking them to. So there's those little pieces that we want to make sure that we're doing. We are in a working landscape, and each and everything that we do out here on site, we want to make sure that we're doing it with a purpose and in a way that people around here in the ranching community can replicate on their own. Is everything that we're going to do going to be great? Probably not. Is there a lot of stuff that we're going to do that's going to be good and could be a great demonstration to go forward for many producers? I believe so. I think there's going to be a lot of great stuff that we're going to do, and we're hoping that we can be that demonstration site that on the dollars of the Nature Conservancy, with the work of Ryan, with the partnerships that we have with NRCS, the Fish and Wildlife Service, MDC, and our other partners, and of course the funding through the Conservation Innovation Grant with USDA, that allows us to be that demonstration site where people can look to see these practices and see how it can be applicable on their own lands. First and foremost, it's got to be economically feasible. For some of these things to happen. I think a lot of the things we're looking to put in place in this particular demonstration farm, I think will prove some of those things along the way. Obviously, we're going to be doing some weights and measurements there, and some of the research that we're doing on the farm is going to point in that direction. And then it becomes then the balance of balancing that productivity standpoint with the conservation value that can be done not only just for the land and soil health and things, but water quality as well. But keeping that economic as a big driver, for these ranchers. It's got to be economically viable, or there's no need to be doing the things, or they won't be doing the things if there's not dollars there. So it's kind of getting the word out there about these practices and these programs that you can utilize on your own land. Like you said, it doesn't matter if you don't own ground, if you can rent ground, or lease ground and do this type of thing, there's a lot that you can do. But want to thank you, Ryan, for coming out today and talking with everyone, letting them get a little peek into your ranching operation and the partnership that you have here with us on the Little Creek Farm site, and look forward to working with you here in the coming years for sure. Yep,
definitely been a blessing for me, and definitely want to keep the partnership going, and give something, produce something that people can find appealing and can implement on their own ground. So.